It brings a
Hey guys, it's Michelle, and today I'm going to be doing a video all about Instagram, our favorite thing. At least it's my favorite thing. I'm obsessed with Instagram. As much as Instagram continues to disappoint me with all of these updates and algorithm issues, I love me a good Instagram photo. So, I've received many requests, and by many I mean probably two, to do a video where I talk about how I edit my Instagram photos. So today I'm going to be walking you guys through how I edit my standard Instagram photos. So if you don't follow me already on Instagram, which you really should, you will know that I have a variety of different types of photos that I like to post. Like, I will post everything from OOTDs to that food pic to flat lays. I really like my Instagram to reflect my actual life and try to keep it very like lifestyle based. But no matter what the photo is, I tend to edit all my pictures the exact same way. So we're gonna be chatting about that today. So why don't we just get started? I recently learned how to record my screen just for you guys, and honestly I feel like a tech guru right now. So about a million years ago I did a how I edit my Instagram photos, and I used Afterlight in that video. I think in the past year I switched over to VSCO cam, VSCO cam, whatever you call it. I call it both things. I think I call it VSCO cam more often than not, but I feel like you can call it either thing. So I swear by VSCO cam's filters. They just have the prettiest filters in all of land. I used to use HP2, which gives a very Tumblr aesthetic to a photo. So it's gonna be a little bit more blue with some like orangey tones underneath, but it's definitely more of a cool tone, very high contrasted filter. So HP2 was my fave for a long time, and I still think it's really beautiful. As you can see in VSCO cam, it's really easy to do like a before and after. And I really love HP2, but recently, I think since the summertime, so summer of 2017, I changed to A6. Which A6 is a pretty popular filter. I feel like HP2 and A6 are pretty popular. And I believe that you do have to install these filters once you get into the VSCO cam app, but they are free. So as you can see, this is a super pretty filter. It makes everything very warm toned, and that's what I really like. I've been very into warm tones of late. And so I wouldn't put it all the way at 12. I love how you can just like make things as drastic as you want. I know my photos don't look natural at all. Like, obviously you can tell that my photos have filters on them, but I still like them to try to look effortless and like them to look a little bit natural. So for this photo in particular, I think, let's see, I like to keep things usually from like a 7 to a 9. It honestly depends on the photo. That's something that I feel is really important when having a good feed, is you do have to have an eye to a certain extent. But if that's not your thing, I'm here to try to help you as much as possible. Just use your instincts. Depending on whatever look you are going for, it doesn't really matter. So for this one, I'll probably let's go for like an 8.5. I usually like adjust the brightness and the contrast, but for this one, I think that the lighting was, because natural lighting is my #1 tip. Stick to natural lighting to get a good photo. So then I'll probably do a little bit of saturation, because A6 can make your photos look a little bit more like sepia and a little less colorful. So I'll do like a little 0.5. We'll do 0.7 for saturation. The contrast is a little high, so maybe like I'll even go down on the contrast a little bit. I love using the tint feature on this app. It is so good. A6 does make things a little bit more yellowy, and if you're shooting pinks and mauves, it can kind of suck the color out of those colors. So I like to use the tint feature to make things more pink. As you can see, like, you can go this way, which makes things green. This way makes things really like purpley pink. But I'll usually just do like a We'll do like a 0.7 in tint. Yeah, that already looks so much better. I also like to use the sharpen tool a little bit, but it is very intense. So I'll usually only do like a 1 in sharpen, because especially once you save it and export the photo, it's gonna be real sharp, girl. So no worries in that department. So then I'm going to save this to camera roll in the actual size. And depending on the photo, I'll usually then send it over to Facetune Now, Facetune is an incredible app. You do have to pay for it. I think it's about like $3.99 or something, but it's totally worth it. It's not just for like distorting your body or whitening your teeth. Like, you can use it for so many more things. But as you can see, there's a lot of dirt around my feet. So for this photo in particular, I'm not gonna get super detailed with this because this is kind of, I don't do this for every single photo, but if there's something that I don't want, I'll use the patch tool, which is a really cool tool that you can kind of copy and paste if you want to cover up any pimples or any weirdness in a photo. The patch tool is amazing. So as you can see, that works really well because I don't like all the mud in this photo, and there's like a cigarette right there. So that works really well. For this photo in particular, I believe that I just used the tones tool, which is also a great tool, especially if you're looking a little bit pale in a picture and you want to like even out your tan. It's awesome. So you just pick a color in the photo. You can even pick colors that aren't in the photo, I believe. So then you can just kind of color over the dirt. So yeah, you can get as detailed as you want with this step. Kind of just depends on your personal preference. I'm not going to go too into detail with this because I don't think this is something that's that relevant because I don't do this for every single photo. But as you can see, that looks so much better. I don't look like I'm standing on a bunch of mud. But if I was doing this for my actual Instagram, I would be a little bit more careful with it, but I still think that that looks really good and you guys get the idea. I also really love Facetune for whitening. So let's pull in a photo. I used to use the whitening tool so much for like every single photo, and now I kind of like things to be a little bit more natural. Obviously it kind of depends on what the photo is, but for the most part I try not to like whiten things too much, but it's still a great tool that I use to this day. Sometimes when I'm editing a photo and it doesn't look quite right and it just needs a little bit of something extra, I try whitening the photo, whether it's super white or not. Like sometimes if something's a little bit too brown or a little bit too gray, I like to whiten it. So as you can see, here is a flat lay, and what I'm gonna do is just like whiten the heck out of this flat lay. And I think that I mainly use the whiten tool for flat lays just because it looks a little bit more polished, a little bit more profesh. So if you just whiten the entire thing, I feel like that's just the best way to get an even look, but you can just select a small area to do that. But I'm gonna do all of it, and then as you can see, it took the color out of these flowers, so I'm gonna go with the eraser tool and bring that color back in, bring the color back into the perfume, bring a little bit of that color back into the bralette. So after I use VSCO, I usually just send it into Facetune, do whitening, do the patch tool, do tones, but that just depends on certain exceptions. There are so many photos that I take that I don't have to take them into Facetune at all, but this is a fun little sneaky trick to make things just look that extra bit better if you are having an issue with something. A lot of the times red brick doesn't look that great on my feed, so I'll go with the whitening tool over the brick and it looks a little bit more faded, a little bit less like in your face. So hopefully you found that interesting and that it was helpful, and you can always comment down below if you have any questions because I'd be happy to help. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and of course, don't forget to subscribe! Woo!